Most characters in Marvel Strike Force work best on their preset cookie cutter teams, but there are a few exceptions, and in this video, I'm revealing the top 10 flex Toons. These are the characters that you could plug and play into multiple hybrid teams in multiple game modes. So if you're ready to find out who are the most versatile characters in Marvel Strike Force, then you know what to do. Find that like button, and let's go smash it!
ValleyFlyin.
Hello, Valley Maniacs. What is up? Hope you're having a great Wakanda Wednesday. I am ValleyFlyin. Welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. And if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Strike Force content. And if you have already subscribed and are returning, welcome back. We got a good one for you today. We're talking about the top 10 flex Toons. These are the characters that you can plug and play into multiple teams and multiple game modes, and they will be very, very good. Now, most of these characters aren't on a set team, so you could use them in different teams and different hybrid teams. There are a few on this list that already have some solid teams that you probably want to use on with those teams that they're supposed to be on, but if you need to use them on other hybrid teams, these characters are very, very good as well. So let's start with the top 10. These are in no particular order, except these are just very, very good characters. First character on the list is this guy, Omega Red. There he is, and he is probably the best non-Scourge legendary character in the game right now. He is doing some good stuff. Now, primarily, you're gonna use him on a Weapon X team. In War, in Crucible, you may be using him on a hybrid Axeman team in the raids, but if you need to use him on other teams, Omega Red plugs and plays very well. He has a very early opening special, the ability block on his special that he does and can screw up some teams. He also has this very, very strong ultimate where he's flipping all the effects to negative, the positive to negative, and he also has that ability block, slow heal blocks, just some really, really good stuff. A wall of text on his passive, so if you need an early ability block, if you need someone that's gonna have a big AoE attack attacking all the enemies on turn 2, well, Omega Red is the character for you if you're not using him already on Weapon X. Next character is Squirrel Girl, but like I said, she's gonna be very good on her primary team, which is the Young Avengers. But if you need someone that can have a cleanse, this is a very, very strong move right here. Eat nuts, healing and cleansing. You're doing both with this move on a 3-turn cooldown, so very, very strong. She's even stronger with these Young Avengers because of the speed bar that she gains, but just this move alone, just this special, makes Squirrel Girl a very, very strong plug-and-play character. If whatever game mode you're using her on, you're not already using that Young Avengers team, because those Young Avengers very, very good. She makes them even better. But if you need an extra character, Squirrel Girl can be the one for you. Next character is Rogue. Now, like these previous two characters, you're probably gonna be best using Rogue on her primary team, the Unlimited X-Men, especially in Crucible. You probably don't wanna split these characters up. Same thing in War, you probably don't wanna split these up. But like Omega Red, if you're running these Doom raids, especially Doom 3 raids, and you need someone to slot in, well, Rogue is a very good character to slot in that mutant section because sometimes the Axemen just don't cut it. Now, you're not gonna want her to use her in multiple game modes or multiple nodes for that raids, but very good in War, very good in Crucible. Maybe you don't have Gambit, maybe you don't have these other Unlimited X-Men built up, but you did manage to finish that Scourge event for Rogue. Well, she can work in multiple teams because of her ability block and stun on her first 2 turns. Now, she has some very long cooldowns. She has a very long cooldown on her specials, very long cooldown on her ultimate, so you're not gonna be, she's not gonna be giving you that value for the entire fight. But those opening 2 moves, very, very strong, and if you're not already using her on an Unlimited X-Men, in whatever game mode you need her, Rogue slots in very, very well. And the last of these characters that already have a team and are probably a little better using her on their own team is Morgan Le Fay. Now, in Arena, I don't see a lot of full Darkhold teams, and this is primarily where you're gonna use her in this hybrid teams. I'm combining her a lot of times with the Eternals, sometimes with Loki, sometimes with Emma just for the extra speed bar, but she does so much good things on that, and she has a bunch of moves here. First is this ultimate here, Disrupted, but the main thing is trauma and ability to block to all controller allies, flipping 2 positive to negative effects a non-controller ally. So very strong ultimate. Her special is also very strong, taking speed bar from everybody, the allies and the enemies, and just makes it so strong. She has a drain on all her moves as well, or maybe not all her moves, but she has a lot of drain on her stuff, so she gets some health back. She and Omega Red pretty much can carry the Dark Dimension 5 legendary section because they are so good. I know on, I think it was my second run, I placed just everybody was dead. Jubilee was dead, Phoenix was dead, Blackwell was dead, everybody's dead except Morgan Le Fay and Omega Red. They smashed through, I think, 2 nodes of on Dark Dimension 5. So Morgan Le Fay, one of the best plug-and-play characters in the game, and you're probably best using her in a dark hole, like I said, but maybe you weren't around for the Wong event or for the Agatha event because that was a very non-friendly event. Maybe you don't have them built up, maybe you don't have Heartless, and you don't have a full dark hole team. Well, Morgan Le Fay is one of the best characters in the game, if not the best character right now. So you can slot her into multiple teams and use her in multiple game modes. All right, so those are the characters that already have teams. Let's talk about some characters that don't have a very solid team. The first is Shang-Chi. He is so strong. Now on war defense, you probably want to pair him with the rest of the heroes for hire. So he does have a war defense team. But in other game modes, like the Raids, like in Cosmic Crucible, he fits in so well on multiple teams. So yes, very good character. What does he do? Well, this ultimate is so strong. Big AoE attack, reducing speed bar of all enemies by 10%. And you've heard this multiple times. This is a turn-based game. Manipulating a speed bar in a turn-based game is so strong. So this is a very strong move, especially because of all the damage that it does. He also has a heal, which I don't know if you guys were around when he was originally released, but he wasn't supposed to have a heal. This heal actually makes him a lot better, not just for the enemies, but for you. In the Raids, in Cosmic Crucible, very strong character. Shang-Chi, one of the best characters in the game right now, one of the best non-legendary, non-scourge characters in the game. Unfortunately, he's not a horseman and he's not a scourge character, so be careful how much you invest in him. You probably want to save some resources for those horsemen and scourge teams, but if you're investing in non-horseman, non-scourge teams, this is one of the best characters that you can invest in. All right, let's talk about Emma Frost, because the main reason you're bringing her into a team is because she applies negative 10% to the speed of all enemies, and that is to their base stats. So that's going to remain even when she dies. But there's a couple other characters that do manipulate the speed bar. I didn't include them in a list, but Loki, Cable also help you get that speed. And if you have the combination of 3 of them with the Eternals, those are the old Speed Eternals team. But Emma really does some extra things rather than just getting you to go ahead of your opponents. Loki and Cable could do that, but Emma, she has a very low cooldown, all enemies clear. So clearing all negative effects from self and all allies, kind of like Squirrel Girl without the heal, but this is a very strong move, slow to all enemies. This on her ultimate, she's gonna clear all positive effects from all enemies, very strong. Blind to the primary target. You're gonna mind control the enemy or ally characters with the most damage to attack the primary target. So very good stuff. Her ultimate, or I mean, her passive is pretty good. She's gonna clear 2 positive effects if charged. She's gonna flip 2 positive effects if not charged. So she's a very strong character. But if you're just bringing her for that speed bar manipulation, remember Loki, Cable, they don't do the same things, but they also manipulate the speed bar to get in front of your enemies. All right, next character, not on a solid team right now, is Baron Zemo. Now, he has fallen off in the game modes that you could use him in, and I don't see him in Arena at all nowadays, but very strong stable in War, strong stable in Crucible, not so useful in the Raids anymore because of that skill tag, and the difficulty of Doom 3 is just so crazy. But what you're getting with Zemo is this opening turn. There's a lot of characters that he goes before. Now, there's some characters like the Wakandans and Crucible that are just gonna take multiple turns before he goes, but he's gonna get a lot of speed. He's gonna start with 40% speed. The allies, Minion Hydra allies are gonna also gain 40% speed. So normally this allows him to go in front of the enemies, and then he does his big ultimate here. Ability block, slow, rebound chain. He has this big opening AoE attack when he has this charge. So he does a lot of good things, but mainly you're bringing him in for that very early ability block. After that, he kind of falls off, but if you needed an ability block in the beginning of a match, Zemo is still the character that can do that for you. Let's talk about Kestrel. Now, she never really had a solid home. She kind of had a defunct home on that skill team with the Secret Avengers and Fury. Still very, very powerful team, but I'm seeing Kestrel used in many other game modes, and you could argue that she is one of the most powerful characters in the game still. Even without a Horseman or Scourge team, she is very, very strong. She does a lot. My favorite move that she does is this special right here, where you're attacking the primary and adjacent targets, and the main thing, putting defense down on these enemies, 2 turns on each target, and then you got her ping. It's kind of like that Black Bolt burp where you're getting extra damage, but or if a character like Black Bolt does it when the characters go into that red, she does it when any enemy with defense down is attacked. She has a 400% hit, which is very, very strong. She has some self heals. She has a big ultimate that clears the primary positive effects from the primary target, along with a lot of damage, 600% piercing there. So very, very good character. Also applying defense down with her basic there. So yeah, if you have some extra resources and you haven't already built up Kestrel, you're gonna see that return many times over because of her versatility in Marvel Strike Force. Moving on to Doom. Now, he is still a good character. You may not want to invest too much into him because, like I said with some of these other characters, not a Horseman, not a Scourge, but if you have some extra resources, Doom is a very, very good character. Not as useful in the tech section because of the Bionic Avengers, not as useful in the Mystic section of these raids because, well, we got Dormammu, we got the Eternals, we got Morgan Le Fay, we got other characters that are very, very good, but Doom is still a staple in War, still a staple in Crucible, and very, very valuable and annoying either game mode. Now, the big thing that he does is summoning these Doom bots on every single turn. This is the big time bomb that you don't want to go off. So if you see a Doom, you want to make sure that they get ability blocked as soon as possible so they can't do this. You're gonna clear all negative like yourself, the most injured summon ally, and the ally was the highest damage. You're gonna heal self and most injured summon ally all the way back to their full health. Now, it says 100% of this character's max health. He usually has more max health than the character that is almost dead. So yeah, you're gonna pretty much heal most characters there, and then fill the speed bar by 300%, which means he's taking 3 turns in a row, which allows you to do this big blow up attack there. So Doom is a very good character. You do have to manage his cooldowns, and like I said, not a Scourge, not a Horseman character, but still worth some investment because of the versatility. But that versatility, not so useful in the raids, not so useful in arena, primarily for War and Crucible. And last but not least is Dormammu, who has use in every single game mode. I see him in arena, very, very annoying facing Dormammu teams in arena because of that revive once. He has that, he could have that revive. If his health is not full at the start of the match and is not a clone, all allies gain revive once for 40% of their max health. So very, very strong opening move because you got to kill them twice, and you got to manage your speed bar to make sure that they don't have a full speed bar when you kill them, because if you kill a character with that revive once and they almost have that full speed bar, they're going to take a turn almost immediately, removing all negative effects that you had on them. So be careful when you're facing a Dormammu team, especially with those characters that have that revive one still on them. Big heal that he has here, clearing all negative effects from himself, heal block from all allies, heal self, and all allies are 40% of this character's max health. Usually what that does is give everybody back to full health. He has a stun on his special. Now, he's not the easiest to unlock. You need to beat Dark Dimension 5 2 times for him. At this point, I still would bring him. Now, as we approach closer and closer to Apocalypse, you may want to shift your focus to some of these Horsemen and Scourge teams, but if you have not finished Dark Dimension 5 yet, it's still worth going on the chase for Dormammu because he's going to help you in every single game mode. Arena, he's on that primary Mystic team that we talked about early in the raid, so very, very good there. And War, Crucible, you're going to use him every war, either in offense or defense once you get him. Same thing with Crucible, offense or defense. Either way, you're using Dormammu. And since he doesn't have a primary cookie cutter team, you're going to use him in a hybrid team. Let's go into game and talk about some of these honorable mentions here, because there are a few characters that I did want to mention, but didn't really fit into this top 10. The first is these 2 characters. Now, the reason they didn't fit in the top 10 is because Cersei without Icarus is good, but not as good as the combo. And same thing, Icarus without Cersei is good, just not as good as the combo of them together. They might be the most powerful duo in the game that I'm thinking about it. So they're very good. They are useful in many game modes, and they are one of the select characters that I would still build up even without being a horseman or a scourge character. So very good in the Eternals. Let's talk about Deathpool. Now, Deathpool does some really good stuff. Primarily a raid character, but if we look at her passive right here, on enemy death, you're gonna heal and attack the most injured enemy for 300% damage and clearing 3 positive effects. I know when I'm facing an enemy Deathpool in the raids, that is so annoying. I gotta manage my cooldowns, I gotta manage the characters, make sure they don't die, and not summon any minions. Multiple man or someone like that would be very bad against Deathpool because of all the kills that she gets. All right, let's move down a little bit more and talk about where did he go? Oh, there he is, Captain Sam. Let's move up a little more, talk about Captain Sam, because he is arguably one of the best tanks in the game. Now, as we got this level cap increase to level 90, he doesn't have that survivability like he used to, but Captain Sam's still a good character. He has this ability block and taunt, or ability energy distributed to your allies, and a taunt. He has this speed bar manipulation, big damage here, filling speed bar for self-skill allies by 10%, 5% for other allies, so more speed bar manipulation. So still a very good character. And last but not least, now this one, he has primarily one use, because there are 2 pre-taunt tanks in the game that start the match with a taunt. And while you're not gonna see him in arena, while you're not gonna see this guy in the raids, although I still bring in Red Guardian as a sacrifice character, you're seeing him pop up more and more on defense in War and in Crucible because of that pre-match taunt. Only Red Guardian and Drax have that pre-match taunt, and Red Guardian is a lot better character than Drax. And that is the list, guys. Those are the top 10 characters. Let me know your thoughts. Agree, disagree? Is there anyone that should be on that list that was not? Should I move any of those honorable mentions up? Let me know your thoughts, guys, and I will see you guys next time. If you have a different top 10 Flex Toons list, let me know in the comments, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Make sure you check out the links down below. TeePublic, where you can get some awesome Valley merch, Amazon coins, where you can save up to 20% off of all of your in-game purchases. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Strike Force content. Like I said, at least 5 videos per week on this channel. Whether the game is good, whether the game is bad, we are covering it all to help you make the best progress in Marvel Strike Force. So I will see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. And before you go, make sure you give me that Hulk fist bump. ValleyFlyin out.